once again to Nigeria Today Live on Galaxy TV. My name remains Olusegun Olabode Ajakai. It's such a pleasure to have you join us today. And interestingly, I have an amazing talent, one of our top leaders within the company where I work as sales director at Uranus. And I have with me a gentleman called Yusuf. He's our CISO. I'd like Yusuf to quickly introduce himself. He's the Chief Information Security Officer for Uranus. Welcome today, Yusuf.
Thank you very much for having me here. My name is Yusuf Omileyo. I'm a CISO at Uranus Technologies, and I help to manage the security team in Uranus Technologies.
The issue around cybersecurity acts, and especially the activities perpetrated by several threat actors. Now, what would be your advice to business leaders, CIOs, CISOs, heads of ITs, organizations, the financial institutions, even Nigerians, about how they need to protect their data from threat actors? And what will be your advice from a CISO standpoint with respect to also buying the right technology to be able to counter or, defend their environment?
What I would say is, so there's a lot here, right? So first of all, let me take it from the acts. So we have a couple of acts. We have NDPA, the one that speaks to data protection, and that is why we have regulation bodies and we have standards that we have to follow to be able to. So now, when we have the standards and then we have these clauses and steps that we need to take to secure each aspect of our businesses, right? Then we can now say, okay, what do I need to do this? That's where you now come to the tool. Say, okay, the CISO wants to get the right tool to protect his data, or he wants the right tool to restrict access, say like a privileged access management solution and all that. We have a lot of research organizations like Gartner. Then we have Forest Wave rather. These guys are well known and they've been tested over the years. We do a lot of statistics research, and then they put out which are the best OEMs out there, in terms of solutions in different fields, say even network security, identity access management, and the likes in the security space. You can easily just go up to their website and you can look at the best top 5 Gartner list to look at, okay, who are the guys leading in this team. And then there's also parts that you go through, which is proof of concept that we do. You do a proof of value. Say, okay, come and deploy this, or a demonstration to look at it. Then you can test out your use cases in your environment to be sure that, okay, this solution is actually the best fit for what I wanted to attack or what I wanted to fix in my environment. And yeah, there are a lot of steps around it, but yes, at the end of the day, we improve every day, and then I'm sure that in the next few years we'll still have other things that will come into play in order to make sure that we're making the right choices.
Thank you, Mr. Yusuf, for all the advice you've given, and I'm sure organizations are getting few hints and feedback from you how they need to be cyber ready and also be able to buy the right technology or best fit technology for their environment. But I think it's important we take it from a particular angle, especially where it comes from a leadership standpoint. What will be your advice to Nigerians, to youths out there, about being those evil perpetrators or those threat actors? What will be your advice around advising them not to, perpetrate such evil or such acts? And also, what will be your advice to organizations as well, especially around data privacy and data protection?
Yeah. So let me say it in one word: don't. So that's the word. Because if you're thinking about it as a youth or as a young person, you're thinking about, oh, let me join online for, let me do social media ads. So these are the things that are out there right now that, let me say, nobody can say it's not popular. A lot of frauds and what they call Yahoo are going on out here. So my advice would be that, because we need to go back, take a step back and look at what causes this. A lot of reasons why they tell you, oh, they're into this and that is because of money or the economy of the country. That's what a lot of people are saying. But one thing I would like to advise is that even the rule of you defending people against this is actually something very lucrative. If you think, instead of going into the fraud, why not go into the other side of it? Why not, okay, take a book, read a book, try and do the training, skill up, because I'm sure online fraud is not even easy. So why not put that energy in learning what you need to do to protect? And it is actually lucrative. I can tell you for free. It is something that, the pay is really okay. Right? Yeah. So doing that, that's one of the steps. And then, and something you're going to enjoy also. So yeah, basically just, try to, get something doing and I don't think you're going to regret it.
All right, thank you. Then one last advice. Thank you very much for that advice. So, like you said, try as much as possible to take those courses, like you mentioned. Try to see how you can find yourself within that ecosystem of those that will be learning and training within that field, so that you can be part of those that are actually the cybersecurity experts. And another last feedback I also want to give is, how can people or Nigerians, organizations protect their data, especially when you look at MFA or multi-factor authentication, 2FA on WhatsApp, the basic encryption. What would be advice for organizations? And also, you agree with me that people, even in offices, they forget to even lock their laptops.
Yeah.
So what would be your advice for Nigerians and for organizations out there?
Yeah, my advice to them would be, so there's a lot of controls around this already stated that we do. So one of it is, for an organization, let me start with an organization. So for an organization, you start with the systems, right? So there's something we call the systems, the process, and the people. So for the people, we do things called security awareness training. This is where you sensitize the people of the organization. So if you have the best security tools in the world, if the people are not aware and they are not trained, you can still get hacked. That's why we say people are the weakest link. So no matter how strong or expensive your solution is, if the people don't know how to use it properly, or they don't have the right, we call it cyber hygiene. They don't have the right etiquette in terms of how they use their laptops, how they use the solutions. When if I log in, I don't need to share my password. Those kind of knowledge are things that you need to keep doing as an organization, and you need to teach your people in the environment to understand. And there's even phishing alert, training that we do, like just do random phishing tests to check if your employees are aware, if they are able to identify these things, if they are able to react on time to this kind of attacks, and so on. And then moving on to that's for the people, right? And then for the organization, for systems, we have various. You just mentioned MFA. You mentioned there's a lot of them in different segments, because you need to remember that data comes in different sizes, in different types, and that's why we have tools like data classification and data classification tools. We also have tools for encrypting your data. We have tools for even restricting access to your data, like your identity access management, your privilege access management, and also for the people out there, I would just like to say that you need to take cognizance of your personal information, your data, like your social media accounts, your passwords, your feelings, your mobile applications, and everything that you know that if got into the wrong hands could reach your account or your data. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Yusuf, for those advice and the nuggets you shared. It's such an interesting time having this discussion with you. And I also thank you for the fact that you mentioned the fact that organizations or people who have been experienced some form of exposure or need to have a fortified or a solid cybersecurity landscape or framework or roadmap. They can actually engage you to perform some form like security assessment exercise. But interestingly, I also want to add, just to latch on what you said, based on those that are probably exposed, either your WhatsApp or your social media account or your account, whatever it is, and they've also improve on how you put your passwords and your PIN. There's also the two-factor authentication as well, where you can also use your email and your phone number as the second means of authenticating your account. I hope you've been able to understand few nuggets shared or tips shared, and we look forward to also seeing you comment and contribute to your quota with respect to what you've learned today from our segment. I look forward to also engaging our audience out there as well. So feel free to drop a comment in the comment section as well too. Thank you for watching. My name remains Olusegun Olabode Ajafaye. Feel free to follow me on my social media handle at I am Body of Lagos, on LinkedIn at Olusegun Olabode Ajafaye, and also drop your comments and contribution. I look forward to engaging you in our next segment. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.